Welcome back to Notre Dame Day. I'm Ann Thompson. Our next guest may be a familiar face to Hoosiers. He's a double-domer, a former United States representative, and currently the senior senator from Indiana. His name is Joe Donnelly. Senator Donnelly, it is so good to have you here.
Oh, it's great to be with you.
I know you're incredibly busy. So first of all, for all our Notre Dame fans out there, what are some of the issues that are really important to your constituents here in Indiana?
Jobs and the chance to make sure that for every family that they can get a house, put a roof over their kids' head, make sure they get a good education, hopefully at Notre Dame, and retire with dignity. And the chance to do all of those things, know that their country is safe and strong, and that will be handing off to their children an even stronger country.
Are the kinds of jobs that are available in Indiana different today than they were 20 years ago, and will they be different 10 years from now?
They're much more technologically advanced, and so we work really hard to increase the skill levels of everybody in our state. And what we find is we're the largest manufacturing state in the country, but it's much more advanced manufacturing where we're using technology, computers, robots, all of these kind of things. And so all of our citizens have to be able to be part of that as well.
Yeah, their education has never been more important to the future of your job. You've put your education to very good use. A double-domer, you got your law degree here at Notre Dame as well as your undergrad. How do you think that education has shaped you as you've pursued a life of public service?
Well, we've had such extraordinary leaders with Father Jenkins, Father Malloy, Father Hesburgh. And I remember Father Hesburgh, as you do, kind of giving you that look like, really, that's the best you can do? and all of a sudden you go, I'll go back to the library. And so do your best, and God, country, Notre Dame. And you think of that, and it pretty well sums everything up, to do your best and to try to make sure that at the end of the day, my Catholic faith says, whatever you do for the least of us, you do for me. And so that's a pretty good guidepost for trying to serve in the U.S. Senate.
You know, yesterday I thought of Father Hesburgh. I was in Washington covering the March for Science, and he loves science. And there are tens of thousands of people out there and engaged and wanted to make sure that the politicians in Washington understand that science is important. We've seen a lot of demonstrations since President Trump was inaugurated. Are your colleagues in Washington paying attention to what the people in the streets are saying?
Oh, absolutely. Just last year, we actually gave a significant increase in funding for the National Institute for Health, just because of what you're saying, the science there, the chance to see our young guest who is here, to know that maybe in future years that cancer will be cured, that diabetes will be cured. We know that the Parsegan family is working so closely with the National Institute for Health, and they are on the verge of a cure for Niemann-Pick disease. This is, this is also part of God's plan. God wants us to use our talents and abilities to try to make it so that we can go to the stars and that we can cure diseases. And science does all of that, and that's why it's so important to fund it as well.
We see, at least if you watch NBC Nightly News, and I hope you do every night.
Every night, whenever you're on.
You will see a very polarized country and a very polarized Washington. Is the Senate, is there any collegiality left in the Senate?
Oh, there's so much collegiality, and that's what doesn't make the news, because I guess everybody's in a ratings race, of course. And so loud and contrast and fights get ratings, and working together doesn't. And working together is the key to everything, relationships and making sure we move our country forward. And so when good ideas come to the Senate, they'll get passed, because our job is to stand up and protect America and to make people's lives better.
So the last question someone wrote for me said, ask Senator Donnelly, what is his prediction for the football team this year? You want to get in on that bandwagon?
Last year I predicted an undefeated season, so that tells you what I know. I am hoping for good weather this year.
How about better than 4-8,
That's
right? That's what
absolutely.
We want. Senator Donnelly, thank you so much. Thanks for taking time out of your schedule, because I know how busy you are.
It's my privilege, and I love Notre Dame.
Oh, good. Well, it's very clear. Thank you very much.